Let's make history. When you're on East Houston Street, once you start going north, all the street names pretty much turn into letters. Essex Street becomes Avenue A once it passes Houston. Clinton Street becomes Avenue B. Pitt Street, Avenue C, and Columbia Street turns into Avenue D. Going north after that is basically just the FDR. It goes up to about 14th Street. This is how that subsection of the Lower East Side became known as Alphabet City, or ABC City for short. But the Puerto Ricans that came in during the mid-20th century called it Loisaida. Puerto Ricans had long been coming into the United States since Puerto Rico became part of the United States right at the turn of the century. That's when my great-grandmother and my grandfather came over. You didn't see mass migration from the island to New York City until right after World War II, the late 40s, early 50s. That's the period when Puerto Ricans became one of the dominant ethnicities as far as population in a city of millions. They were mainly two meccas, and that was East Harlem, also known as Spanish Harlem. That's where my family settled. That's where I was raised. And also Loisaida, which is that Alphabet City section of the Lower East Side. Puerto Ricans generally lived in the Avenue C area along that strip. That's why the city eventually put an additional sign up next to the Avenue C street sign saying Loisaida. And there were many Puerto Rican neighborhoods throughout the entire city. What made Loisaida so special, there are three factors primarily. There was a growing activist movement, people gathering the community together to make them aware of political agendas and making an active effort to empower the community. A lot of times that did veer off into socialism, but there were good intentions. Next was you had a growing art movement. There's a festival, even now in the present day, in the 21st century, which takes place annually in Loisaida. Block party, so to speak. You had a significant art movement that came from out of the area, which still lives there, by the way. The New Eurekan Cafe is iconic when you talk about the Lower East Side. That's still there. One of the most notable figures from this period and from this region is Miguel Piñero, who is a famous poet and playwright. He wrote the play Short Eyes, which was later made into a film I saw as a child. And it's about a convicted pedophile. And he created the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, which is still in operation. That gave rise to the New Eurekan movement, which is a central part of Puerto Rican culture in general. Many proud Puerto Ricans have, some never even been to the island, but born right here in New York City, but still feel a connection